Tonight I'm taking it in a whole other direction, just for a moment of fun. I just feel like it'd be fun to do this. So, tonight, a book of classical stories. The Argonauts, the Golden Fleece. The old Hellens said that the Golden Fleece hung in Colchis, which we call Circassian coast, nailed to a beech tree in the war god's wood, and that it was the fleece of the wondrous ram who bore Phrixus and Helle across the Euxine Sea. Oh, I got myself into something I shouldn't have. For Phrixus and Helle, and the children of the cloud nymph, and of Athamas, and Minuan king. Athamas the Minuan king. And when a famine came upon the land, their cruel stepmother Ino wished to kill them, that her own children might reign, and that they must be sacrificed on an altar to turn away the anger of the gods. So the poor children were brought to the altar, and the priest stood ready with his knife, when out of the clouds came the golden ram and took them on his back and vanished. He carried the children far away over the land and sea till he came to the Thracian Chersonese, and Helle fell into the sea. So those narrow straits are called Hellespont after her, and they bear that name until this day. Then the ram flew on with Phrixus to the northeast across the sea, which we call the Black Sea now, but the Hellens call it Euxine. And at last, they say, he stopped at Colchis, on the steps of the Circassian coast, and there Phrixus married Chalciope, the daughter of Aeetes, the king, and offered the ram in sacrifice. And Aeetes nailed the ram's fleece to a beech in the grove of the heirs of the war god. And after a while Phrixus died, and he was buried, but his spirit had no rest, for he was buried far from his native land in the pleasant hills of Hellas. So he came in dreams to the heroes of Minuai, and called sadly by their beds, "Come and set my spirit free, that I may go home to my fathers and my kinfolk and to the pleasant Minuan land." And they asked, "How shall we set your spirit free?" "You must sail over the sea to Colchis and bring home the golden fleece. And then my spirit will come back with it, and I shall sleep with my fathers and have rest." He came thus, and called to them often. But when they woke, they looked at each other and said, "Who dare sail to Colchis or bring home the golden fleece?" And in all the country none was brave enough to try it, for the man and the time were not come. And at last Jason was tricked by his uncle Peleus, who was jealous of him and thought to get rid of him, thus into promising to undertake the quest of the fleece. So the heralds went out and cried to all the heroes of Minuai, "Who dare come to the adventure of the golden fleece?" And Hera stirred the hearts of all the princes, and they came from all their valleys to the yellow sands of Pagasai. And first came Heracles the mighty, with his lion skin and club, and behind him Hylas, his young squire, who bore his arrows and bow, and Tiphys, the skillful steersman, and Butes, and Butus, that works, the fairest of all men. I don't know how that would help them. And Castor and Polydeuces, the twins and sons of the magic swan, and Caeanus, the strongest of mortals, whom the centaurs tried in vain to kill, and overwhelmed him with trunks of pine trees, that even so he would not die. And thither came Zetes and Calais, the winged sons of the north wind, and Peleus, the father of Achilles, whose bride was silver-footed Thetis, the goddess of the sea. And silver-footed feet. And thither came Telamon and Oileus. This is a nightmare. Just get to the action. The fathers of the two Aeantides, who fought upon the plains of Troy, and Mopsus, the wise soothsayer, who knew the speech of birds, and Idmon, to whom Phoebus gave a tongue to prophesy things to come, and Anchaeus, who could read the stars and knew well all the circles of heaven, and Argus, the famed shield-builder, and many a hero more, in helmets of brass and gold, and tall dyed horsehair crest, and embroidered shirts of linen beneath their coats and mail, and greaves of polished tin to guard their knees in fight. With each man his shield upon his shoulder of many fold of tough bull hide, and his sword of tempered bronze in his silver-studded belt, and in his right hand a pair of lances of heavy white ash staves. So they came to Iolcos, and all the city came out to meet them, and were never tired with looking at their height and their beauty and their gallant bearing and the glitter of their inlaid arms. And some said never was such a gathering of the heroes since the Hellens conquered a land. But the women sighed over them and whispered, "Alas, they're all going to their death." We may continue this later, if I can bring myself to do it, for that was something else. In the meantime, Pinky Pinklepurr. Tattoo was the mother of Pinky Pinklepurr, and Little Black Nothing of feet and fur, and by the by, and his eyes came through, he saw his mother, the big Tattoo. And all he learned from her. I'll ask my mother, says Pinklepurr. Tattoo is the mother of Pinklepurr, a ridiculous kitten with silky fur, and Little Black Pinkle grew and grew, till he got as big Tattoo. And all that he did with her, two friends together, says Pinklepurr. Tattoo is a mother of the Pinklepurr, an adventurous cat in a coat of fur, and whenever he thought of a thing to do, he didn't much bother about Tattoo. For he knows it's nothing to do with her, so see you later, says Pinklepurr. Tattoo is the mother of Pinklepurr, an enormous leopard with a coat of black fur. Oh. And little brown kittens that's nearly new is now playing games with this big Tattoo, and Pink looks down lazy at her. Dear little Tat, says Pinklepurr. No one can tell me. Wind on the hill. No one can tell me. Nobody knows where the wind comes from and where the wind goes. It's flying from somewhere as fast as it can. I couldn't keep up with it, not if I ran. That if I stopped holding the string of my kite, it would blow with the wind for a day and a night. And then when I found it, wherever it blew, I should know what the wind had been going there too. So then I could tell them where the wind goes, but where the wind comes from, nobody knows. Forgotten. Lords of the nursery wait in a row, 5 on the high hill and 4 on the low. Big king and little kings, brown bears and black, all of them waiting till John comes back. Oh, I suppose I have to read this. Lords of the nursery wait in a row, 5 on the high wall and 4 on the low. Big kings and little kings, brown bears and black, all of them waiting till John comes back. Some things that John Boy is lost in the wood, some say he couldn't be, some say he could. Something that John Boy hides on the hill, some say he won't come back, some say he will. High was the sun when John went away, here they've been waiting all through the day. Big bears and little bears, white kings and black, all of them waiting till John comes back. Lords of the nursery looked down the hills, some saw the sheepfold, some saw the mills, some saw the roofs of a little grey town. Their shadows grew long as the sun slipped down. Gold between the poplars of old moon shows, silver up the starway the silver moon rose, silver down the starway the old moon crept, and one by another the grey fields slept. Lords of the nursery still kept their watch, they hear from the sheepfold the rustle of sheep. Still keep their keep. Still watch it keep. They hear from the sheepfold the rustle of sheep. The young bird twitters and hides its head, the little wind suddenly breathes and is dead. Slowly and slowly dawns a new day. What's become of John Boy, no one can say. Something that John Boy is lost in the hill. Some say he won't come back. Some say he will. What's become of John Boy? Nothing at all. He played with his skipping rope and he played with his ball. He ran after butterflies, blue ones and reds, and did 100 happy things, and then went to bed. Well, I don't know if I can read much more. Oh, the book's almost done. Tell you what, I'll finish this up and I'll come back to that. We're almost done. That's good. I've had my supper and had my supper and all. I've heard the story of Cinderella and how she went to the ball. I've cleaned my teeth and I've said my prayers and I've cleaned and said them right. And all of them they've kissed me lots, they've all moved them and said good night. So here I am in the dark alone, there's nobody here to see. I think to myself, I play to myself. Nobody knows what I say to myself. Here I am in the dark alone, what's it going to be? I can think whatever I like to think. I can play whatever I like to play. I can laugh whatever I like to laugh. There's nobody here but me. I'm talking to a rabbit. I'm talking to the sun. I think I'm 101. I'm lying in a forest. I'm lying in a cave. I'm talking to a dragon. I'm brave. I'm lying on my left side. I'm lying on my right. I'll play a lot tomorrow. I think a lot tomorrow. I'll laugh a lot tomorrow. Hi-ho. Good night. The end. When I was 1, I had just begun. When I was 2, I was nearly new. When I was 3, I was hardly me. When I was 4, I was not much more. When I was 5, I was just alive. But now I'm 6. I am as clever, so I think I'll be 6 for now and forever. And with that, we finish Now We Are 6. Ooh, goodness, we're moving right along. I think we're heading just into the right time to get into Little Prince. So I suppose I'll have to hurry through the other one. That's a nice child. But sweetheart, I love you dearly. And I'm coming home. I know where John is, and I know where John's going. I don't know what's become of him, but he's coming home. And he knows it. And he wants you to know it too. Because he loves you, and he can't wait to see you. He really, really, really can't wait. So, I say to thee, a little help from the baby Sarah. Sleep well, keep calm, find a llama, carry on. I love you dearly, and I'll be home so soon. Good night, Christy. I love you. Thank you for always being there for me. Oh, I could just lie this camera down. And let it stay like that for a little while so I can prop it on some shoes. Well, I'll be darned. No. I think you can see my face like that. Yes, I think you can for sure. I just can't bounce around much or the whole thing will collapse. It's really windy out now. Very much so, love. I know it's me too. I love you. It's one of those things I don't know how to sign off tonight. I just don't want to. I just want to keep going. I don't know if I go to bed. Home will come sooner. And home is coming very soon. It'll be there before I know it. And you, and everyone. Names, no friends. Thanks for putting up with me, sweetheart. It means the world to me. I'm always comfortable being myself around you. I could leave my eyes closed into the song act. And the story wouldn't go up, and you wouldn't get that story, and you wouldn't get this. And that would be a travesty. So I say to you now, sleep well, keep calm. Find a llama, carry on. And I'll talk to you very soon. Good night, Christy. I love you.